Hey, I'm Lowell. This is Pacific Solo. I have to prepare myself for the greatest challenge of my life, crossing the North Pacific via what I'm calling Nemo North, the place in the North Pacific furthest away from land in any direction, and to take you there with me via this channel. Good morning, I'm Lowell Sheppard and welcome to the Pacific Solo channel, which is focusing on my preparations for my quest to cross the North Pacific solo to Vancouver via a place I've called Nemo North, which is the place in the middle of the North Pacific furthest from land in any direction. So thank you for watching. A Pacific Solo channel has several playlists. The main one is the episode season 2, focusing on sailing and my trying to push the boundaries out in search of blue water and training in blue water. There's also a playlist with just some special YouTube episodes. There's also the Captain's Log, which is really a log of my learning. And so I do some episodes like that. But I've been encouraged to create some special episodes on the subject of never too late. You see, I wrote this book several years ago, and it really chronicled my decision and journey to dramatically affect the course of my life by moving to Japan over 20 years ago with my wife. And here I give 10 tips to changing the course of your life. This book is now becoming my manual again for this current change. For when I turned 64, I made the announcement that I was going to cross the North Pacific in a sailboat by myself. Overall in this journey, I feel like a novice. I have so much to learn. Perhaps where I have some more confidence is on this subject. So I'm going to do a series on the subject of never too late. However, in this first introduction to never too late, I just simply want to say two things. Number one, there's two kinds of dreams, or not all dreams are the same in terms of their robustness. Some dreams or goals, when you conceive of them, you hatch them, when they gain clarification in your mind, they're immediately full of vitality, and you pronounce them and you know you're going to do them. You have the goal, you have the plan in sight, you know your assessment where you are currently, and you just go for it. Other dreams, however, are more fragile, and you have to protect them, regard them as precious. And so it was with me with the Pacific Solo dream. You know, I had dreamed all my life of sailing across an ocean. I had limited experiences over the years, sailing a dinghy, then a friend's 26-foot sloop in Vancouver when I was single. Thank you, Doug Hoffman. And then sailing one summer among the Greek islands with a skipper. And over the years here in Japan, sailing lasers up at Yamanakako. But overall, I realized, I'd concluded that this dream of living on a boat and sailing across an ocean was unrealizable, having moved to Japan, for things were too expensive and, because of my language abilities, opaque. And then I discovered the Tokyo Sail and Power Squadron, the sail club who operate in English, and I found that I could take the course in English to get my boat license, and even they arranged for the exam to be in English. So suddenly this marine world opened up to me, and I got my license, began to crew in others, and it was then that I had this dream come to the surface. I had been seeking a new endurance challenge. It's not since I rode my bicycle the length of Japan in the year 2000, following the cherry blossom, and had convinced my publisher in Oxford, Lion Publishing, to commission a book for me to write about that journey. It's not since then that I have had a challenge that really captured me. I've ridden my bike across Japan many times since, across Cambodia. I've done triathlons, ran in half marathons. But nothing gets captured me like that first bike ride did, where for 2 years prior, I fell asleep every night, dreaming about it, fretting about it, planning it in my mind. And I've been searching for something. And nothing has matched that challenge since, until now. But the second thing I'd like to say about dreams are, it requires perseverance. And I'm going to go through these 10 tips over the course of a series of these short episodes. However, I want to stress perseverance, for it's perseverance that brings the dividend of mission accomplished. When I rode my bicycle up Japan, sometimes I had company, sometimes I was solo, but now I just finished a week solo riding in Hokkaido. Now I was coasting downhill to the coast, literally on my bicycle, through a forest to meet my family. And it was on that final day, riding by myself in the rain, in a forest, that I wrote these words. Can I read them for you? I actually wrote them in my book, Never Too Late, but they're in my original book, Chasing the Cherry Blossom. The forest was quiet around me, disturbed only by the swish of my wheels rolling over the moist surface and the soft crackle of rain hitting my rain gear. My spirit and mind became one, and I wandered into my thoughts. It was the last day of traveling alone, and I felt the inner glow of knowing I had achieved my goal. I had been enriched in so many ways, but had the journey brought any insight into my midlife status? Had I found any resolution to the questions about my life, past and future, that swam so often to the surface of my thoughts? Then it came, as clear as a whisper in a quiet room. It was a moment, spiritual in content and texture, but unaccompanied by strange or extraordinary signs. There was no booming voice from heaven, yet the words that came to my mind brought extraordinary clarity, unlocking and unleashing residual self-doubt. The words came like a caboose at the end of a train of thought. As fleeting as the moment was, the words could not have come with such power and healing without the 6 weeks of pedaling that went before. For in that moment, I saw clearly that the question haunting me was not as much, who am I, as an, is that it? Are the major challenges of my life behind me? It was to this question, to this fear, that I felt the words that came to me were addressed. And the words were, your challenges of the past will be eclipsed by greater challenges of the future. Your time is not over. It is yet to come. But you are in a special period of your life, a period of privilege, where you are to focus on your family and broaden yourself. I had cycled the length of Japan for those words. So there's something about the perseverance, about the cadence of going through the actions of achieving a goal that brings not only the realization of the goal, but something, perhaps epiphany is overstating it, but it brings a moment of magic where clarity comes. So it's never too late. Welcome to my journey. I say to myself every day, it's never too late.